You check your bank account at 2 a.m. The number stares back, cold, far smaller than you need. This isn't just about money. It is that suffocating weight, not knowing if you will be okay. You are not alone in this. Millions walk every single day carrying that exact same quiet, invisible burden. Every paycheck arrives and disappears. Rent, groceries, subscriptions, obligations, leaving you exactly where you started. No one gave you a blueprint for security. You received a paycheck and were told to figure it out. Not a vague concept, not a dream. A concrete 60-day strategy to build your very first real safety net. Imagine waking up knowing that no matter what happens, job loss, medical bill, car repair, you are covered. That calm, that silence where the anxiety used to live, that feeling, that is precisely what we are building. The 60-day emergency fund strategy is not a shortcut. It is a disciplined, intelligent, and deeply proven financial foundation. Research consistently shows that nearly 60% of adults worldwide cannot cover a $500 emergency without borrowing money. This is not a personal failing. It is a structural gap. The absence of a critical liquidity buffer. A liquidity buffer is simply money set aside, untouched, and accessible. A financial moat protecting everything you have built. The wealthiest individuals in the world do not fear emergencies. Not because they are lucky, but because they built reserves. Financial psychology reveals that uncertainty, not debt itself, is the most powerful driver of long-term chronic financial stress. When the brain detects constant financial risk, it enters survival mode, impairing every single important decision you make daily. This is what behavioral economists call cognitive scarcity. The mind consumed by lack simply cannot think long-term with clarity. The emergency fund, at its core, is not merely a savings account. It is a profound cognitive liberation tool. It frees your mental bandwidth. It removes the ambient noise of financial fear, allowing sharper, more prosperous decisions to emerge. Warren Buffett famously maintains massive cash reserves, not because he distrusts markets, but because optionality always requires deep liquidity. The same principle applies at every income level. Without a financial cushion, every opportunity feels like an unaffordable risk. The Federal Reserve's data consistently shows that households with even $1,000 saved experience measurably lower financial stress levels. $1,000, not millions. Just a small cushion. Yet it statistically transforms a household's entire financial, emotional policy. Now imagine 3 months of expenses. Or 6. The psychological weight that lifts is nearly impossible to overstate. Institutions understand this profoundly. Banks maintain regulatory capital buffers. Corporations hold reserves. Even governments. The pattern is universal. Every financially resilient entity, human or institutional, operates with a dedicated, protected, liquid reserve. When you have no emergency fund, every dollar works under pressure. Every dollar is already spoken for before it arrives. Wealth preservation, a concept the ultra-wealthy deeply understand, begins not with growth strategies, but with protection from catastrophe. A single unexpected crisis, medical, legal, or mechanical, can erase years of careful savings without a protective safety net. The wealthiest never gamble with financial survival. They always separate their security capital from their growth capital, without compromise. An emergency fund is not where wealth stops. It is precisely where the journey toward genuine financial freedom truly begins. Every financial advisor, every economist, every self-made entrepreneur confirms the same truth. Secure your foundation before you build. The logic is irrefutable. The data is clear. Now it is time to walk you through the exact 60-day strategy. The 60-day emergency fund strategy is not about deprivation. It is about precision. a surgical approach to financial immunity. Think of your emergency fund as your financial immune system. Without it, a single crisis can bring everything crashing down. Step 1. Calculate your true baseline. Not your income, not your wants. Just your absolute minimum monthly essential rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, and insurance. These form your lean number. The real cost of simply surviving. Your target for 60 days is 2 full months of your lean number. Simple, achievable, and profoundly life-changing. Step 2. Open a dedicated high-yield savings account, separate from your checking, reserved solely for this emergency fund. Separation is critical. When the money is out of sight, it becomes psychologically harder to spend and easier to protect. High-yield accounts offer 4 to 5% returns. Your safety net quietly earns interest while it waits to protect you. Step 3. The reverse budget. Pay your emergency fund first, before anything else, treating it like an absolute non-negotiable bill. Most people save what remains after spending. The wealthy spend only what remains after saving. That one reversal changes everything. Automate the transfer. On payday, the system moves your money before your mind even has a chance to redirect it. This is automation's power, removing willpower from the equation entirely. The fund builds itself, day after silence. Step 4. Divide your 2-month target by 60. That single number becomes your daily, focused, non-negotiable. If monthly expenses are $2,000, your target is $4,000. Approximately $67 saved every single day. $67 a day. That is 1 fewer restaurant meal, 1 canceled subscription, 1 conscious. This is not sacrifice. This is investing in your freedom, your stability, and your ability to sleep soundly at night. Step 5. Audit your spending for just 1 week. Most people discover 3 to 5 expenses they never consciously noticed. Streaming services unused. Gym memberships collecting digital dust. Subscriptions auto-renewing silently, draining your future. Redirecting just 2 of these leaks frees significant capital. Capital that now works directly for your security and peace. Think of every leaking expense as a hole in your financial hull. The emergency fund is how you seal everyone. A business without operating reserves collapses at the first market disruption. A person without an emergency fund is no different. The flywheel effect applies here. Once built, the confidence your fund generates leads directly to better decisions and greater outcomes. Financial security creates mental clarity. Clarity creates opportunity recognition. Opportunity creates wealth. The flywheel. Your emergency fund is not idle money. It is a silent partner, standing guard while you boldly pursue every opportunity. Consider the entrepreneur taking calculated risks. That courage comes directly from knowing there is a solid financial floor beneath them. The emergency fund is your financial floor. With it, you can leap. Without it, you fear even approaching the edge. Think of money not as wealth itself, but as a tool for time arbitrage. Buying your time back from crisis. Your emergency fund is your first act of arbitrage. Purchasing the most precious commodity of all. Real peace of mind. By day 30, something shifts. The anxiety softens. Your decisions sharpen. The future begins to feel reachable, and by day 60, the fund is complete. You are no longer the same person who began. You have fundamentally changed. Return to that 2 a.m. moment. The bank account. The cold number. Except now, everything about that moment has changed. You open your account. The emergency fund is there, whole and ready. A silent fortress nothing unexpected can breach tonight. The anxiety that lived in your chest has been replaced by something quiet and permanent. A feeling called genuine security. This security is not just financial. It radiates into your relationships, your work, your creativity, and every choice you make. You are no longer making decisions from scarcity. You are making decisions from strength, and that changes every single outcome. Wealth, as Housel observed, is not what you spend. It is what you keep, the invisible, quietly accumulated reserve. Your emergency fund is your first true act of wealth, not for its size, but for what it represents. Discipline. And discipline, compounded over time, is the single most powerful force in building any lasting, meaningful financial legacy on Earth. The person who builds an emergency fund is already thinking differently than 90% of the population. That matters immensely. You are not just saving money. You are building a new identity, someone who takes their own financial future seriously. Owning your time begins with owning your security, and owning your security begins here, with a fully funded emergency reserve. From this foundation, every next step, investing, building a business, creating passive income, becomes possible. And the 60-day strategy was never only about 60 days. It was about proving you have what it takes to build. You always had what it takes. The missing piece was a strategy. Now you have it. Go and claim your future. Your legacy is not measured in crises survived. It is measured in storms weathered with grace, calm, and total security.